Coach, thanks for joining us on today's call. As we're about a little over halfway through the regular conference season, just kind of touch on what you're most looking forward to seeing from your team over these next 4 weeks.
Well, good morning. We're in a position that we've got, you just had Coach Mike Perry on. He did a fantastic job. He's doing an excellent job at East Carolina, taking over a tough situation whenever you follow someone. But for us, we've got to keep improving. With so many, they're not necessarily new players, but they are, and especially with so many junior college players, they're still learning each other. And we finished the first half. We're 5-5 in the league, a little past, one over half in the season. So now it's the second round in the AAC. We've got to step up and play better. We really are struggling defending the three, and we really had a tough time defensively, although it was because of the outstanding play of East Carolina the other day. So we're looking forward. We know we've got a tough matchup against a very talented Wichita State team. So we're focused on getting better today and trying to get ready for a good Wichita State team.
Thanks, Coach. And if any media members have questions for Memphis head coach Tubby Smith, feel free to chime in now.
As a reminder, it is star 1 to ask a question. And we'll take our first question from Ken Davis from theathletic.com. Please go ahead.
Morning, Tubby. How you doing?
Good morning.
You may have heard what I asked Coach Perry. I don't know about the competitive nature of the conference this year. I mean, there's been some really good games and a few surprises here and there. The bottom half of the league seems to be rising up and causing, a little bit more parity. What's your viewpoint on that? Do you think this is are there certain components that have made this a better conference this year?
Oh, absolutely. Better players. I think that number one. I think the conference had a very good recruiting class this past year, and I think and now there's a lot of veteran, experienced players returning in each program. I think that helps. Coaches have been in place for a few years. Just like Mike Perry was mentioning that he's been there with Jeff Lebo for the last few years. The voice didn't change much. You have at South Florida Brian Gregory, who's an excellent coach, who's he's establishing the culture that he needs. At Temple and UConn, even though there are teams that have struggled some, they're very talented teams, and the job that Coach Dunleavy's doing at Tulane. So yes, I think everybody, whether you call it, I don't think coaches look at it as upper half or bottom half. The media and everyone else may look at it, but we know going into, just like we've going into East Carolina, you better come ready to play. They're improving, and if you don't play your best game, if you don't come with your best effort, you're going to get beat. And that's just the way it is, just about in every league, but especially this year in this league. And that's why I think you'll see us get multiple teams, a lot of teams in postseason play.
Has anyone truly surprised you in the conference? Any team that's truly surprised you by some of the things they've accomplished or some of the improvement they've made?
No, you expect everyone to improve. I think overall I was very impressed with East Carolina because I think Mike Perry takes over a tough situation because I was really impressed with how they played, their athleticism. They were obviously they executed down the stretch and made plays, winning plays. Again, we're right there. So I think probably East Carolina is probably the biggest surprise.
You're a veteran of the NCAA tournament selections. You got anything in mind right now about how many teams you think are deserving of bids?
Well, I think at this stage, obviously, it looks like we've got multiple SMO. I think we have a few teams. Obviously, Cincinnati, Wichita State, and Houston are teams that are doing well, and certainly teams like us and SMU and are right on that cusp. Even though we're going to have to certainly everyone has to play your way in. And this time of the year, you better be playing your best basketball because obviously, whether it's NCAA or NIT, they're evaluating teams as we go along, especially this time of the year.
Thanks, Tubby.
Thank you.
We'll take our next question from Mark Gianotto from the Memphis Commercial Appeal. Please go ahead.
Hey, Tubby. Good morning.
Good morning.
I had a question for you about how you use your bench in the game against ECU. I think Kareem was the only guy who played in the second half, and obviously you've been playing a lot of guys in the first half the past couple games. What went into your thinking there? Was it just because it was such a back-and-forth game, just how you used the bench in that game at ECU?
Probably so. It was back and forth. I thought we were behind and we really needed that defensive stopper, which we really didn't do a good job, especially in the first half. The first half, I think, East Carolina was really, making their outside shots, 5 of 11, shooting 45% from threes, and really didn't do much better job in the second half because they made, actually 4 out of 10 in the second half, and then 2 out of 3 threes in the overtime. So we didn't. And probably we hit the wall there. We probably needed to get guys more rest, but that's what we felt like we needed to do at that particular time. And we make them. We had a chance there. If we make both free throws at the end of the game regulation, we'd probably come away with a win, but we didn't.
Thanks.
All right, Coach. Well, we will turn you loose and we'll let you get back to prepping for Wichita State. Appreciate your time today and look forward to seeing you down the road.
Thank you.